RSC people, we have returned to bring you the veteran finals. My name is Hot X. Here with me, along for the ride tonight that has been the rival finals so far, is T-Sant and Taslian. And T, we have got, if the first series is any indication, what is shaping up to be a very, very exciting veteran final.
Yeah, I will say the bar is high for these veteran finals. We just had a banger of a series. For anybody just tuning in because your franchises weren't in the last final, I strongly recommend go back and watch it. That is just, if you like Rocket League, you will enjoy that series, I promise you. But enough about rival. We got veteran on our hands. Destined and Makos. Two teams that are not unfamiliar to the finals, two franchises that are not unfamiliar to the finals. And looking at these team stats, some similarities and definitely some differences.
Yeah, the goal number is definitely a larger spread here, but remarkably equal goals against. And pretty much equal saves against, too, and the slight push in saves for the possessed side. Makos with the strong advantage with that shooting percentage of 33%. But yeah, again, two very evenly matched teams indicated by their records in the regular season and the fact that the last two standing here in the veteran bracket in the postseason. So the edge definitely lies with Makos, just having that higher goals for and the better shooting percentage. But kind of like we saw last season, these stats really don't show us the tail of the tape. So T, take us through our player lineups, please.
All right, so look, we'll start off with possessed. Goose Cowboy, OGkrish, Westy's World, and SGE Nemesis. A lot of even games amongst those teams. Who knows who we're going to have starting tonight? For the Makos, Lil Panda, Jay, Joe Z, and Human Jitters? Somebody help me out here, guys. I don't really know what I'm saying.
A portmanteau of Jumanji and Jitters, if we really just want to.
Jumanji Jitters. Okay, I'll probably just go with Jitters, but
we'll just go with Jumanji. I think either one's valid.
But look, we got some familiar faces here with the Makos. We'll start with Lil Panda, part of one of the most dominant teams RC has ever seen. The Hammerheads, last season rival, looking to now win back-to-back chips in rival and now veteran. Lil Panda had a great season. And then Jay, everybody familiar with Jay across the league, won veteran finals a couple seasons back, looking to do it again. There's definitely some star power on this Makos roster. How about Possessed, HUD?
Yeah, Possessed led by Westy's World in their player that made it all the way to the finals last season, now here trying to claim their first trophy. OGkrish, a veteran of the league as well, and Possessed just looking to stand up to this high-powered offense of the Makos. That is really kind of, I think, the name of the game for them going into the series. We know what some of those players on the Makos are capable of. They're proven quantities, but Possessed here with an opportunity to stake their claim a little bit and, put their name in the RSC record books.
Yeah, and just look at those assists for the Makos. That is a team that plays together. Possessed, you got to be watching out for those passes. They're going to be coming from every which angle, especially when Lil Pan is on the ball. 55 assists, very impressive.
Yeah, that is not a small number to rack up over the course of the season. No huge goal scorers like we saw in the games before this in the rival final, but that playmaking ability speaks a little bit to the increase in the speed and the just the control of the game that continues to build as you move through the tiers, because veteran is the tier above rival, so these players are slightly better than the players in rival. So you've got a little bit more vision, a little bit more opportunity to spread the wealth around rather than relying on a central offensive shooter. But we have all of our players in the lobby, and I think they're all pretty ready to go. T. I am excited to see what they've got for us here, and I would love to hear what you've got headed into game one.
You know, after that last series, I'm still a little lost for words. We're gonna let the players do the talking. Kickoff is underway. Westy going up high with it, trying to leave it for Goose Cowboy, just a little bit out of reach. Lil Panda now on the ball, dangerous player, but OGkrish is all over that. I'm sure the scouting report says make sure Lil Panda doesn't get too many touches. A little bit of back and forth from both teams now as they look to establish that midfield control. And boomer ball. Each side going back and forth. Westy now trying to get the pass from Krish. Jumanji all over it. And we find ourselves in the blue half now. Not as explosive off rip as our Arrival Finals HUD, but I'm sure that's not gonna take too long to start heating up.
No, absolutely. This is a little bit more of just the feeling out period that we see in some of the higher level lobbies. Just two teams still trying to get familiar with who's on the other side, but here Makos doing something that they're very familiar with, which is passing the ball very efficiently. That is a training pack pass on the bounce out of the corner there, and Lil Panda makes absolutely no doubts. All that he is right now is 1 goal away, or 1 assist away from a cycle. A minute and 2 seconds in, a fantastic finish there, and a 1-0 lead in the early stages of the series here for the Makos.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about it earlier. That is a high-powered offense Possessed will be having to deal with. So letting the first goal go to the other team, probably not what you want. But, again, it's just 1 goal. It's a lot of time. It's only game 1. Plenty can happen. And this ball's going to go out to the midfield. It's a race to it. OGkrish and Jitters. And it'll go right to Goose Cowboy, who will send it high. Gets 1 touch. Doesn't really do much with the second flick, but a demo. And that ball will go right to Lil Panda. Goose Cowboy doesn't want to see any of it, HUD. That's going to float towards the goal. It's an easy save for OGkrish. Jitters sends it to the midfield. Panda with a shot. And Westy just can't quite get around to the ball. I think their car was just facing in an awkward angle. Let's see the replay here. Yeah, he just drove it forward, and then the backflip just wasn't really able to happen. Good placement to be able to put it right behind the defender, and that's 2 goals already for Lil Panda, who's taken over early here in game number 1. All right, into the midfield we go. Jitters now. Taking over.
Sorry, I had muted my mic to cough and then didn't unmute myself. Continue.
It is okay, HUD. Like we said, it's an RSC broadcast. They're always a little bit scuffed. It's what gives us our charm.
Exactly.
But the people want to hear your beautiful voice. Take it away. I don't want to talk.
I'm unmuted now. Okay, I'll keep going. Through halftime, 2 goals on the board for the Makos. I was saying something about how Jumanji Jitters has 2 assists on the 2 shots from Lil Panda that's allowed Lil Panda to have 100% shooting percentage.
Oh
but,
my goodness!
Man, those two goals weren't quite as pretty as that one from Jumanji Jitters. Getting on the flip reset action, veteran. Here it is, under crossbar and in.
Oh, clean flip reset, bar down, ski into the net. 3-0 for the Makos, and they're coming out hot in game number 1. Not the start you want to see if you're Possessed. And just think about it, Jay hasn't even really done much yet so far. Once, you know, Jay gets involved, who knows what's going to happen. OGkrish trying to change it up. Defense has to make a play on it. But Westy was just, car flipped the wrong way. Couldn't really make a shot on net from the defense making a save. We're back in the blue corner. Been there quite often so far this game. Jitters going up high with it. Nothing there. Jay now. Off the backboard. Leaves it. Panda. Off the backboard again. No defense there. And Jitters just going to clean up. It was basically a free shot on net. Westies just got caught on the backboard. 4-0 for the Makos, and they're making a statement here in game number 1.
Just an overwhelming pressure from the Makos, sending all 3 forward. Nobody's hanging back looking for boost. They fully intend on just cramming this one down the Possessed throat. They have come out here and really staked their claim to this veteran championship here in game 1. It is not the tight OT affair that we saw in game 1 in Rival. This is a much different feeling as we head into the back half, or the later parts, I suppose, at this point of the series. Although I guess if it's a 4-0 sweep, back half is game 3. And almost 5 goals on the board there for Jay and the Makos. But you mentioned Jay not contributing a whole lot. He's been the glue guy for this entire rotation. Held it down offensively, so that way Lil Panda can get 3, and Jumanji Jitters can just bully people on way to 2 goals and 3 assists.
It is not looking pretty out here, folks. The Makos are just all over Possessed right now. To say they're smelling blood in the water would be a bit of an understatement. Because, well, you know, of course, we got to get one in there. There will be more to come, don't worry, guys. You'll hate me more later.
4 punts.
At this point, Possessed just hoping to get 1 for the road, but,
Ooh, nah, not gonna happen.
It's not coming there. 6-0 in game number 1. My goodness. Lil Panda, Jitters, they're on one right now. Each with a hat trick. Jitters has a playmaker. Panda's got a cycle. They are looking unstoppable.
It's been, I think you used the word in the last series.
Oh my God. Make it stop, please.
Goodness.
Please make it stop.
12 seconds left. We're almost there, but they're going to make it take as long as possible. And that one doesn't count. It bounced before it went across the line. Okay, everybody, we're still at 6-0. Yeah, 2 shots for the Possessed to 12 for the Makos, spread evenly across 4 players, and somehow Jay comes out of this whole affair with no shots, no goals and no assists. Thankfully, there won't be a goal scored there, but it doesn't mean that we're done. That will eventually end it.
That didn't hit the
Jitters
ground.
gets the MVP, and wow, what a way to come out and just kind of blow the lid off of this veteran finals.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. You said 12 shots. Now, they actually ended with 14. They got a couple more.
Yeah, just
before the
last,
game started. 14-2 in game number 1. That was a slaughter. Let's hope the rest of the series isn't like that, because the Makos looked disgusting in game number 1. They were getting whatever they wanted.
Yet they really didn't. They didn't pull any punches, did they? Like they pretty much got their offense working exactly the way that they wanted to. The spread like this tells me that this is something that they're comfortable with. Like you can almost see the first, second, third rotation literally laid out on the scoreboard here. But they absolutely made it work, and if they can continue to make it work, then. I don't know that I've seen a 2-0 lead coming out of game 1 in a finals so far yet this year. And I've seen a few of them now. I think at least 4 of them. So if Makos can do it, that is a huge, just a absolute, they really are putting themselves out to dominate this.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was trying to find some silver linings for Possessed from that first game. There wasn't really many, but look, in the last series, we did see the Necrotic Nerds. They got stomped 7-1 in game number 2. Came back and won, 3 of the next 4 to win the series. So, just because you get stomped out 1 doesn't mean it's all doom and gloom. Well, I will say the Makos offense looked a lot better than anything we saw from the Carrots in that 7-1 game. But in a plus,
it's like comparing an NFL team to a college team. To be totally fair to the Carrot, not to lessen your point at all. And I'm gonna talk over a goal, man. What a flub.
And it doesn't stop. 36 seconds in game number 2. Just an empty backboard. Leaves Lil Panda getting what's basically an empty shot on net. 1-0 for the Makos. Picking up right where they left off. Jitters now almost gets that touch off the backboard. And Jay, welcome to the scoring party. That one only took 7 seconds. HUD, I'm a little bit scared.
Yeah, I would say. This is definitely shaping up to be something that could get out of hand, but I have a very vivid recollection here, T, of me saying the same exact thing in about the same point of game 3, I think, of the last series. And then we all know how that one ended, and this one's going to continue to go that it's going to go. Possessed have yet to get a shot on goal. They only have 1 save. There's 3 goals on the board for the Makos, and we're not even outside of a minute played yet. So it is looking a little grim for the Possessed at the moment, but to your point, T, just to throw it right back at you, there's still a lot of game to be played. At this point, it's either about damage mitigation, which they're not doing a great job of, or just a mental reset. Like, just think about game 3.
And
Don't
just
even think
look
about
at that. Jitters just goes, gets the bump like it's nothing. Lil Panda just slots it in like it's nothing. It's already 4-0. What happened?
Yeah, just I think out of hand is probably a good way. It might be 5-0 here, not quite at the moment. I'm trying to do research on these teams' paths to the playoffs here as we stare down the barrel of a game that looks to be a blowout already, but just got to keep an eye on this breakout because Possessed, they've got some scoring touch of their own. We cannot cook them. It's gonna be really easy to cook them in this game at 4-0 because they're so out of it so early, but we cannot because it does not take much for them just to slowly creep back into this game.
And look, finally Possessed is scoring. They got the monkey off their back. Let's see what they can do. Hopefully that relieves a little pressure for them. And we're seeing the orange side of the field. That is a good thing. We haven't seen a lot of that so far. Jitters putting it to the orange side. Goose Cowboy all over it for now, and that's gonna go right in the net.
Sure.
Lil Panda collects 4th of the game. Jitters has an assist on every single goal so far. Jitters has 5 assists in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's,
the Makos have 10 shots to 1.
Excessive, I think, maybe is the word that I'm going to use in this scenario. It just is a little much here from the Makos in the beginning stages of the second game. That last goal entirely predicated on a rough demo spawn, and then Westies just getting caught out and then immediately bumped again, not able to get back and defend. Even there, that shot that goes wide for the Possessed is just a little bit of bounce luck. So nothing going the Possessed way. They have managed to put a couple more shots on goal. They're at 4 now, but this is a long clearance that maybe will turn into some offense for the Makos. It's a slow roller, but a shot nonetheless. And that's really the first quality look we've seen from the Possessed till like right at this very moment with 2.5 minutes left. Outside of that one goal that they found, just picking apart a rotation, it's all dried up here for the Possessed team.
Yeah. Look, I'm just gonna kind of echo what you're saying. Although, was hoping we were gonna see a goal scoring opportunity there from Krish, but it was just good defense from Panda. Jay gonna get that out of the way of danger. Goose Cowboy going for the 50. That's just gonna go completely in Jay's favor. Huge bump from I think Jitters to clear the way for Panda. Panda sends it into the mid. Goose Cowboy's there. And Jay, before the offense even starts, sends it to the other side and just is going to put in 6. My God. There are 13 goals in 2 games, HUD.
Yeah, goal differential of plus 12 is not bad for 2 games. It definitely means that you could Brazil one of those 2 games at plus 12, but they have to find goal number 7 here in this one, and I'm honestly kind of shocked. Both these teams possessed 4-0 the Good Gangsters in their semifinal, or their semifinal to get here, and Makos had a 4-1 over the number 1 seeded Sea Devils in their semi. So neither of these teams any slouches, but the Makos seem to be a cut above the rest here, and it's a Brazil in game 2 to go up 2-0, because if we can't book this one, what can we actually do? This is just such a polar opposite to the rival series, T.
Yeah, that would be an understatement. Does anybody have the record for most goals scored in an RSC finals? Just curious.
I will make sure that it gets to Rob to talk about on the podcast this weekend.
Because that's something we may need to discuss at some point. Oh my god. Can someone make sure there aren't like some Prem players playing for the Makos?
It's just, they're just too fast. It's not, it doesn't even look like it. It's just that the Makos have absolutely downloaded the Possess. There's nothing the Possess can do right now.
It's just, I'm honestly, at this point, lost for words. I don't know what to say. It's just, it's absolutely insane what we're witnessing, HUD. I don't really know how else to put it. Just the absolute domination that we're watching, I don't think it's anything I've ever seen in my time casting RSC before.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of we'll do some regular season stats deep dive here as this one winds down. A very clear win for the Makos, and hope that just like the Possessed, or just you know, hopefully like the Possessed are doing, resetting themselves for game 3, we can come in on a fresh slate. Possessed ended their season top of their division, the Ember division, in Solar. Makos ended their season second in their division, behind the 49-win Sea Devil. So a very strong division that the Makos have to claw their way out of as a wild card team. And then their path through the playoffs looks like taking down the number 4 seed Lightning in 5. And then the number 3 seed Calzones in 4. And then moving on to the semifinals, where they faced off again against the number 1 Sea Devils, took them down 4-1. And here we're witnessing a dismantling that could potentially be RSC record setting. Who knows? It has just been a different level, and none of the there's no glaring issues that can be found on the stats like, oh, Makos are just a sneaky, really, really good team that had an easy path through the finals. That's not what happened here.
Yeah, I mean, just to point this out, in 2 games, the Makos have 30 shots on net. In 2 games. I think Possess have, well, they got 8 that game. They got 8 that game, and I think they got, what do they get? 4 in the first game, so 12? I'm sure someone has that information, will probably correct me on it, but it's just, realistically, they're getting outshot almost 3-1 in this series. You know, give or take a little bit. You just can't win at this level like that. I don't know what the fix is, honestly. Try your heart out for demos, maybe. Just go, you know, full send on offense. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure. But changing anything is better than what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and I wonder if that'll even lead to a substitution maybe for Possessed. It hasn't led there yet. We're at 2-0, and they're running it with the same 3 that we've seen so far. So they have faith in their ability to turn it around here against the Makos. And so far here in game 1, it has been a better start for the Possessed. They've not allowed a goal yet, and now they've got a little bit of pressure building in the orange half. Maybe more offensive possession there in the first 50 seconds of game 3 for the Possessed than we saw in all of game 2, T.
Yeah, that is That's an accurate statement. Lil Panda trying to march it back down. There's Jay off the backboard. Jitter's going for a shot, gets one. Goose Cowboy is able to dive in for the save. Jay now with the shot, and it's just a little off target. Can't quite get it on into the net, I should say, and we remain scoreless here. The longest we've gone, I think, without a goal so far. But the Makos are lurking. Jay leaves it off the backboard for Panda, but Goose Cowboy is going to send it long. OGkrish is there, puts it towards the net. Jitters will get an easy clear. Westy's World meeting him on the ceiling. Ooh, here's a shot. Goose Cowboy, it's a good shot, but it is a better save from Lil Panda. The offense continuing for the possessed. This is what we like to see. And Westy World gets one touch, but not before Panda is all over that ball and is setting up this Makos offense.
3 minutes and 10 seconds gone off the clock here in game 3. We're still scoreless at this point in game number 2. I think it was already 4-0 for the Makos. There's a drive just turned aside by Goose Cowboy. Makos are threatening here. That's an errant pass down. Ball is loose, and Jumanji trying to find Jay loose in the center of the box. A shot to the top corner just barely rims out, and that will be Makos still scoreless. Jay trying to threaten here, zero boost, attempting to pin it on the backboard, but Krish gets a good save. Jumanji with a touch over top of one, but can't find two. And the long clearance back into the corner is thrown back out off the 50. Jay can't get another touch there on Westy, and Jumanji's going to be up to the task. Actually, it is a little Panda there across the back. That as we cross halftime, the defense stands tall for the Makos. It's a great exit demo, and now it might turn into a little bit of offense here from the team from Shark Attack.
Yeah, offense indeed. That was a banger of a shot from Panda and a great save, but off the save, Jay gets a clean look on the net at 68 miles an hour. From that angle, there's just not much you can do but pray if you're the defense. And it took them a while to find their stroke, but the Makos are back and swimming like usual. They once again take the lead. 2 minutes to go now.
Been much a different series, or different way to get to this 1-0, this series of events to get here than we saw in the last game. Possessed have stood up to the might a little bit more and trying to find a couple ticky-tack passes to work their way behind the defense there, but maybe just a one pass too many. It's going to lead to a break the other way, 2-on-1. Jumanji to Little Panda. Wow, what a breakout for the Makos. And it just looks like this is a hot knife through butter offensive territory here, 2-0 for the Makos.
I'm sorry, but how did this team get put in vet? Because that passing play is way too clean. It's way too precise. Just absolutely surgical with the ball placement. And up 2-0 now. Makos looking like they're in control, though. Westy's having something to say about it. It's the first time this late in the game Possessed have found themselves within reach. We'll see if they can answer once again. They'll need another goal to tie this one up, but they have 84 seconds to do it. That is plenty of time. We'll see how the kickoff fares. It looks friendly so far, but Krish, no boost to work with. Westy just can't quite get it on target. And oh no, this is a counterattack for the Makos. Westy's, though, will be able to get around it and send it to the other side, HUD. 1 minute to go. Are we going to see a 3-0 dominating lead for the Makos, or will Possessed bring themselves back in this series? OGkrish doesn't want to say goodnight just yet, and we have a tied game, folks.
Answer your own question there, T-Sant. It is just the timing of these players to find just the moment when we need to take a breath. They put the ball in the back of the net, and they make us look bad in the process. It's their fault, not ours. And in the process of doing that, Possessed have clawed themselves back into a game here that is very winnable for them at this point with 50 seconds left. Just got to find one more goal to take the lead. They've got an opportunity.
And there it is.
OGkrish is going to do just that. Possessed maybe with an opportunity to steal away a game here and pretty much negate the fact that they are currently minus, something like minus 10 or maybe minus 11 on the series to this point.
I think it's a lot more than that. But it doesn't matter because they're winning this game number 3, HUD. 40 seconds to go. They only need to hold out for a little bit longer. Jay, no boost to work with there. That ball's high and could be dangerous. Krish flying somewhere. Not sure where they were going. It wasn't towards the ball there. Under 30 seconds. Jitters taking it to the back. No boost to work with. OGkrish towards the middle. Tries to get it to a teammate. Can't. Westies has control of that. Decides to leave it for Goose on the wall, but Jitters will be the first one there. Puts it down. Westies meets it. Panda's going to have one more opportunity for the squad. Puts it towards the goal. Ooh. Not on target. And then no shot. Time sticking down. They just got to have it hit the ground towards Westy. And that will do it. Possessed. Forgetting about the first 2 games. All those goals do not matter. We have a series on our hand, folks. Hope you didn't count them out just yet. 2-1 heading into game number 4.
I've got bad news for you, T. They did.
What is that?
Out. All of the betting from game 3, 100% of it on the Makos.
Well, I feel bad for those people and their points.
That is a rough break there, a bad beat, as it would be called if this was like actual money. But it is a way to get it done for the Possessed to hang around instead of letting the Makos just kind of run wild on you and find a way to just put a couple daggers in at the end and eke out the door with a win. And now you have life in this series. You're not down 3-0 staring down the barrel of a sweep. It's still manageable. You can string 2 games together easy because like that game was close. You showed that you could play them close, but now it is very much Mako's turn to answer, and it will be now, do we see them find yet another gear and just kind of run around Possessed again like we saw them do in game 1?
I mean, look, we were talking about how crazy the first 2 games were, and they were nuts to watch. But realistically, for any team in Rocket League, it is impossible to play at that kind of peak level for, so long. It's just, you can only be so consistent in Rocket League. They were bound to cool down at some point, and, we'll see if the law of averages now go against the Makos and be able to cool down a little more than they anticipate, and Possessed can take advantage of that. And look, they played a good game, They were able to kind of weather the Makos offense a little better, turn that offense into counterattacks of their own, and then the rotations were able to keep the ball in the orange half for much, much longer than we saw in either of the first 2 games combined. So there was a lot to like in that game number 3 from Possessed. Goose Cowboy put it on the backboard. OGkrish is there, and it just can't get in the net, but Westy World is there to clean up. And another lead for Possessed. This time they will score their first goal. Yeah, we have a series on our hands, folks. Finally, Possessed showing up. They've woken up. Lil Bro handed the controller over to the main player. And Makos, hope they didn't get too overconfident because they're going to have to lock in now. I'm sure Possessed is feeling real good.
Yeah, that is a great way to come out here in game number 2. You can pretty much erase those first 2 games if you find a way to win the next 2, but it's a great response there from Jumanji Jitters. Again, it's the response to the response that we've continued to see over the course of the night. They absolutely find a way to step it up, and it's Jumanji Jitters just with that heavy forecheck, diving in there, chipping it behind the defense, finding a gap in that rotation, and leveling us right back at 1 aside, T.
Yeah, and it looks like OGkrish is a little bit too eager to push it forward there and put themselves just at a position so that goal could come in. Find ourselves tied now with about 3:30 to go. Goose Cowboy, Lil Panda racing to it. Goose Cowboy will win, but no real offensive possession yet. There we go now, into the middle. Jay is going to backflip it out into the midfield. The Goose Cowboy is there, gets one, going for another now. Flips into it, but unfortunately hit it with the underside of the car, so it was a real weak 50. Jay over to Panda. Panda off the back wall. No real offensive opportunity coming in there. And Possessed counterattacks have looked a lot better in these last 2 games. They will need to keep that going, though, if they're going to stifle this Makos offense. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Puts it out into the corner. Jay has to make a play on that ball. Low on Boost. Goose Cowboy now. Boost to work with and control. Gets a good 50 against Panda. Foot race to the ball. Jumanji Jitters will clear, though. Double commit there, though, from Possessed. And that's going to give Makos control. But Jay will not get the touch. It almost went in anyways, but we near halftime, HUD, and it's 1 apiece. Either team could take game number 4.
It's been solo efforts so far that have gotten it done. One look at the scoreboard or the little scorecards that pop up can tell you just that. It's been Jumanji Jitters on the Makos side, and then the 1 goal from Westy's World that we saw early on in this one break it open kept us level. But yeah, just not a whole lot of volume offense. The 2 teams looking maybe to have settled into the swings of this, especially on the Possessed side. They got that win underneath their belt, maybe let out a little bit of an exhale because they had a rough first 2 games, and now they can just get to playing their game. And a lot of that's come from those 50s of Westy, and it's almost another goal there for the Possessed off the back of one of them. Westy still diving on it. OG taking space with only 12 boost in the tank will get the pass to nobody but the defense of the Makos. A double commit and a heavy touch, though, might keep Possessed in a attacking formation here, but Jumanji does well to break that pressure for a moment and might turn into offense for the Makos. A touch from Little Panda to the backboard. Dangerous for Jay, but a big save by OGkrish will clear the danger for the moment. 1:15 left, still tied at 1.
Yeah, and that was a close call, but close is not going to do it. And another close call, but still, close ain't getting you goals out here. It's got to be on target. 1 minute to go. We are approaching golden goal territory. Next goal could be all it takes. And a great touch there to send it to the other side when Makos were lurking. Jumanji Jitter's not trying to carry it. Gets interrupted. OGkrish doesn't have the touch. We go back to the blue side. Makos players lurking. Jay with the shot. Westies interrupts right away. Gets the flick over 1. Tries to get into the middle, but Lil Panda is there and is a force to be reckoned with on that defensive end. 20 seconds to go now. Goose Cowboy into the middle. No players there for the shot. Race to the ball. Westies will get there. No shot on net. Off the backboard now. 10 seconds to go. Lil Panda sends to the middle. There's no orange players there. We might have 1 more possession here from each team. Ooh. That's a shot, but OGkrish will get the save. 1 last opportunity, maybe. Oh. No, that's going to hit the ground. We have OT here in game number 4. Possessed looking to tie it up after maybe everyone counted them out after the first 2 games. HUD, will they be able to do it, or will the Makos take a commanding 3-1 lead in this series?
I think that counting out was justifiable when everybody's defense through the first 2 games. It was not looking good for the Possessed, but here with GM cheering them on in chat, it is all to play for as Westy has that one just go wide. OGkrish is going to put one off the crossbar, and Goose Cowboy had a good look there but couldn't quite get the 50. Westy keeps the play alive, drops it down to Little Panda. 37 seconds left, and Possessed to look threatening here. It's almost a great pass there with no boost in the tank for Westies, but couldn't quite wrap around it. I think the big difference between these 2 teams, or just the difference between the team that's going to win this and going to lose this, although my point might be moot because Panda's going to put it away right there. Makos take it in 2, ruin the thing that I was going to say, and now it is the road back just becomes so much longer for the Possessed just on the turn of that 1 goal.
And look, that was a great little doink touch there from Jay. You're just not expecting that if you're the defense. It was a great game from Possessed too. Thought they were going to have an OT, but just not enough juice in the end there. And as you said it, that road back now becomes so much harder. Gonna take 3 straight wins against a Makos team that, even despite losing last game and taking this one to OT, has still looked excellent regardless. And look, Possessors look great these last 2 games. and they're really going to have to give it their all to come back into this one. It's not going to be easy, but they got here for a reason. It wasn't an easy road to the finals. You know, if any team can do it, a team in the finals will be the team to do it. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Very, very good points. The fact that we're here is, maybe not shocking based on, what we've seen so far. The fact that we're staring down this 3-1 with the Makos after a resurgent game from the Possessed is, you could say that it maybe is predictable from the way that we saw it, but I think that, that's a hugely even game that the Possessed put together in Game 4. That is torn apart by one man, and that's Jay, who finds pretty much his first impactful touch of the game in an offensive capacity to set up the game winner. Beside that, just doing all of the little things right, and then finding a way to get that one extra touch to open the floodgate for the game-winning goal for Makos. And now they've got themselves on championship point, just one win away from the gentleman's sweep here in the veteran finals. And I think that if Possessed want to be in this with a shout, they've got to find a way to get this first goal, because if the Makos take goal 1, it is going to, I think the slide could start pretty quickly.
I completely agree. I do think the key to success is getting that first goal for Possessed. Being able to just relax a little bit, and especially in a high-stakes game like this, just so much for the mental. And we all know Rocket League, at the end of the day, it is a mental game through and through. And OGkrish has to get a good save there, but does make it happen. And this is going all the way, maybe no, just a little bit off target. OGkrish into the corner. Goose Cowboy, no, and that's going to go very wide. Some missed opportunities maybe there for Possessed. We'll see if they come back to regret that later in the game. Jay almost gets the shot there. Goose has to make a diving save. Lil Panda now trying to make some offense going. Off the backboard, it's empty. Jay doesn't quite get around it, leaves it. Lil Panda now. And this Makos offense is starting to cook up. They're starting to gain possession in this blue half. And that is not what you want to see if you're Possessed, Hud.
No, it is just that you do not want to even allow them the opportunity to get back into this game. It's such a daunting task. You've got to keep them locked down pretty much the entire way, but Possessed have been up to it so far, or at least they've not cracked yet, but it does not last long. All that it takes is one great touch to the backboard here from Jay. Once again, the facilitator, and Jumanji Jitters is first to it. Had just a hand down, man down there for the Possessed defense, and Makos have got themselves, again, 4 shots in the first 2 minutes to 0 for Possessed. And with the first goal in the game, I said it earlier, first team scores takes this, and Makos poised to do just that.
I just want to say, for all you Possessed fans out there, they were not scored on until HUD opened his mouth and said they had not cracked yet. Just want to point that out there. Make sure you blame him and not me. It is not my fault. But as we continue, nearing halftime, 1-goal game. Look, Possessed, they've slowed down the Makos offense. We're not seeing those insane goal totals from the first 2 games. I think the first game they won was a 3-2 game, and then that last game was 1-0. Am I crazy? Oh no! And I thought Possessed was gonna get the goal there. Jitters just flies down from the sky, rolled the dice for the Jumanji board, got the good spawn, and then gets the pass out to Jay. He's going to roll it into an open net. Down 2 now. Possessed, they have work to do. Makos get their insurance as they are on championship point. They have a lot of insurance to work with. That's a banger of a shot, but a better save from Jitters. And it stays 2-0 here. It was a good opportunity for Possessed, HUD, but they remain scoreless.
So close there on the orange end were Possessed, but couldn't turn either attempt into a shot, just wits away from being able to turn those into goals. Now Goose Cowboy tries to carry one in the middle, but standing tall is Lil Panda. Westy's World circling around into the corner. Jumanji just trying to throw some bodies at the defense, and 90 seconds will remain here in a game that the Possessed have to win to keep the series going. It is a huge mountain to climb with 2 goals in the balance, and you just have to find a way to slip this forecheck of the Makos, get behind them into that soft spot behind the defense, and cruise it into the goal. But it's all about finding those gaps, and maybe here's one. Jay misses the boost. Disadvantage on the way back in, but Jumanji Jitters gets the save, and the Makos survive another push.
Survive for now. We'll see what happens. Down to 1 minute left. I'm sure we're going to see Possessed go all out. It is, it is do or die right now for them. OGkrish up. Puts it down for Goose, but Jitters is going to be all over that ball. Shuts the offense down before it even starts.
Ooh.
Jay with a shot, and the defense just can't quite get there. Jay putting nails in the coffin. Wants us to call him JJ because he's looking to be the 2-time now. It's 3-0 for the Makos. 42 seconds left. And it would be a Cinderella story of Cinderella stories if Possessed are able to make their way back into this one.
OGkrish was looking for the flip reset there, maybe to get the comeback train started, but it does not quite connect. Goose Cowboy will roll one on frame there, but there are 2 Makos waiting for that one, and in addition to saving it, they're also going to turn it into a shot all the way to the other end of the field just to add a little bit of salt into the wound. And the difference maker once again in this game has been Jay. He's somehow managed to step up from being the facilitator, the glue guy, to now being a focal point of the offense. But Jumanji Jitters is the story for me. 6 saves to go with a goal and an assist here, as it's 0 seconds on the clock, and the Makos have done it. Season 18 veteran champions out of the Shark Attack.
What a story. I just said it. Jay, now the 2-time vet champion. Lil Panda, dominated rival last season, got the chip, came up to vet, posted I think an almost 80 SBV, dominated the finals. Very reminiscent of Wilderlore from a couple seasons ago, did the exact same thing. I don't believe Wilder came back, or Wilder, I believe. I think it was Wilderlore. Someone correct me on that name. I don't believe they came back to play. We'll see if Lil Panda sticks around and tries to do it in Elite. What a story that would be. And what a performance tonight from Makos. They just, there were some close games in there. Possessed gave a great fight towards the end of that series, but there was a clear better team tonight, and they handled business.
Yeah, totally. 110% agree. I think that much is indisputable, and the wealth was spread around the Makos players. I think all 3, they very clearly played a brand of Rocket League they were particularly comfortable with. We talked about it a little bit early in the series, where just their rotation and the way that they flowed with each other and stayed out of each other's way seemed like they were a team that just kind of knew how to play around each other, and a championship winning team having good chemistry is, you want those things to be mutually exclusive. Like they are, it is only a mark of a good team having good chemistry. So
Yeah.
it is, just a testament to them and what they did. But wow, what a just compare contrast, if you will, the rival vet series tonight.
Yeah, and let's talk about, finals MVP HUD. Who's your vote going for? I know mine is gonna have to be Jitters. Jitters was all over the field in the first 2 games, dishing out goal after goal after goal, scoring several themselves, and then we see what they did in the decider here. A 700 bomb, almost 8. Throwing a cycle in there as well. I think Jumanji had a couple cycles this series, if not 3. Might have missed the save in one of the game.
Yeah.
But regardless, that is my pick for finals MVP. I think it's between him and Panda, but I would go with Jitters.
I've got the dark horse pick of Jay. I think Jay played phenomenal in game 4 to win that OT, got the winning assist, a fantastic pass to open things up to win game 4. and then takes over the offense in Game 5 to get it done. So that's my personal underdog pick, but I will leave it up to those of you that are still here in chat to give us your thoughts on who takes it. I want to make sure that I've spelled Jumanji Jitter's name right before I hit done, and I have. You got 3 minutes to vote in that one, so make sure that you do. But what a way to close out our RSC Season 18 match play, T-Sant. It has been a long and winding road of a season for all of us,
Yep.
myself included, and
Yep.
here we stand at the end.
Here we stand at the end, indeed. Another season come and gone. What a season it was. The storylines we saw, look, we will be going over all this on the end of season stream. Coming, I believe, later this week.
Yes,
Which
on
is
Saturday.
what, 18 seasons strong for RSC. Cheers to another 18 strong. This league is amazing. The connections it's built, the people it's introduced for everyone. And just, I'm happy to be here. It was a great night casting with you, HUD. I don't have anything more to say, except for congratulations to the Makos on winning another veteran championship.
Yeah, and congratulations to the Necrotic Nerds and MVP of that series, Peskiest, taking that one all the way for Rival as well. And yeah, I think it's 9 p.m. Saturday night. End of season wrap up stream podcast extravaganza. Immediately followed by the media committee versus stats committee show match that has been put together by Boss and Array. So that'll be happening on Saturday. Make sure that you are there watching. And then for those of you, just one last thing, and because it's the last season, this is the night that I'm going to talk long, T-Sant, so you better buckle in.
All right, sounds good to me.
I'll keep it tight, but I do have something to say.
Oh boy.
It is actually pointed at something this time, which will keep me from this taking half an hour. Those of you who have been in and around an RSC server in the past like 48 hours have probably gotten pings about it, but it was announced today officially in RSC that on Saturday, December 2nd at 3 o'clock, RSC will be hosting a memorial tournament for Null Idea. It'll be hosted here on this channel. We will be raising money to send to his Boy Scout troop in Andover, Massachusetts. Everything's like set and squared away. The GoFundMe link is live. I should honestly put that in here right now. I'm going to do that right now because I don't know why I didn't already do it. But here it is going into the chat right this very minute. And make sure that you check that out. Make sure that you're around on that, both on Saturday. We're going to talk more about it then. And then we put that on the 2nd of December. Earlier today, like 24 hours after the GoFundMe went live, it had already raised like $280. So that is huge, and we hope to be able to raise more. It's super awesome that it's all come together the way that it has. And if there is one night that I would encourage you to be at outside of these finals broadcasts, which are all so great all season, it would be this tournament for Null on the December 2nd. So make sure in that link there is also a link to the Discord where you can sign up to play in this tournament because it is open to both RSC people and non-RSC people. So if you've got friends, sign up with them, bring them in. We're figuring out how to do all of our MMR stuff because we will be running an upper bracket and a lower bracket to accommodate as many teams as possible. And we're going to run like a 10-hour stream or something to get us all the way through the grand finals of both streams. So it's going to be a great time. We're going to have a bunch of casters on. And it's all going to, couldn't think of a better cause. So anybody who knew Null, obviously, it's been a huge impact on the league. And we are excited to be able to pay tribute to him in this way. And his family's super involved and thinks that it's something that he would have loved. So we're very excited for all that. But I'm going to leave it there. We'll talk more about it on Saturday, so much more about everything on Saturday. But I want to thank all of you for sticking with us this season. Thank you so much for keeping RSC around, keeping it a thing. 18 seasons is insanity, and we're all super excited for what season 19 and beyond has to bring. But for all of us here at RSC, my name's Hudex. T-Sant's been with me, dealing with my crap, and Tazlian's been in the back, the consummate professional as always. We'll see you on Saturday, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock for sure. Don't miss it. Be there.